There are common objects that we all tend to have at home, but they can attract negative energies and evil spirits without you even noticing. Feng Shui teaches us that the energy of our home directly influences our life, health, and well being. Keeping this in your home can open invisible doors to negativity, disrupt your environment, and even affect your luck and relationships. In this video, you will discover exactly what it is, why it is so dangerous, and how to get rid of it immediately to protect your energy and keep your home clean, harmonious, and full of good vibes. Get ready to reveal secrets that your house has been hiding and reclaim the power of your space. What is revealed to you today may seem incredible, but there are very common objects that hide dark energies and could be affecting your life without you noticing. In Feng Shui, nothing is by chance. Every object in your home, no matter how small or insignificant it seems, carries energy. There are no inert objects. All of them hold memories, emotions, and vibrations from the places and people they have been around. Some radiate light, harmony, and vitality, but others, without you knowing, become true magnets of bad luck and open doors to negative energies and even spiritual presences that disturb the peace of your home. Have you ever wondered why your family suddenly feels tired or irritable? Or why arguments arise for no reason? Sometimes it's not the outside world's fault, but something inside your own home. And the most unsettling part is that these forbidden objects do not always appear dangerous. Many even look decorative or sacred. But when you keep them in the wrong place, they start to disrupt the natural flow of energy and block prosperity, health, and peace in your home. In a moment, I will show you which objects you should never keep. But first, you need to know this. Even if your house is clean and tidy, even if you think everything is balanced, a single object with dark energy is enough to open the door to negativity. Let me tell you the story of Alicia, a 67-year-old woman who lived in a bright and seemingly perfect house. But in recent months, something strange began to happen, even though she always kept everything clean. She felt the environment was heavy. Her nights became restless, she had trouble sleeping, and more than once she woke up with the feeling that someone was silently watching her. The days were no better. Her family began to argue over insignificant things. The garden plants dried up for no reason, and even her health started to suffer with unexplained aches and fatigue. Confused and worried, Alicia sought the help of a feng shui master, and what he discovered left her stunned. In her living room, in an apparently innocent corner, she kept an object that acted as a magnet for dark energies. Not only was it blocking prosperity and harmony, but it had also opened a channel that facilitated the presence of unwanted entities in the house. The master explained that although the object seemed decorative and unimportant, its energy was contaminated. Once it was removed and the space purified, the atmosphere changed immediately. The house became lighter, the arguments stopped, and Alicia could sleep peacefully again, feeling the harmony in her home once more. Most importantly, she understood that this was not an isolated case, because many people unknowingly keep similar objects in their homes, objects that seem harmless but are actually open doors to negativity. Now it's time to reveal these forbidden objects so that you can also protect your home. The first object to watch out for is amulets and talismans of unknown origin. Often, without realizing it, we bring small objects into our homes that seem magical or special. Perhaps a stranger at a temple gave you a paper saying, "Keep it and you will have luck." Or maybe you saw a talisman online advertised as attracting money and immediate protection. You bought it and now have it hanging in your living room. The problem is that in Feng Shui, an amulet is not just a decoration. It is a powerful spiritual tool created for a specific purpose. If you do not know its exact origin, intention, and proper placement, you are at great risk. Some of these objects were not made to attract prosperity, but to contain heavy energies, trap spirits, or even seal spaces with dark vibrations. And when you keep them at home without knowing, instead of protecting you, they start creating an environment of confusion, arguments, and fatigue. Imagine installing an antenna in your home that transmits a signal in a language you do not understand. It may seem harmless, but it disrupts the entire system. The same happens with dubious amulets. Instead of harmonizing, they interfere with your home's vital energy. I remember the case of a woman who had several amulets hanging in different corners of her home, one on the window, another on the refrigerator, and another in her closet, each with a different purpose according to what she had been told. but the result was chaos. The house felt heavy, everyone argued, and the atmosphere was unbearable. Only when she removed them did the space feel light and peaceful again. So never forget this: an amulet is not a decoration, it is a spiritual instrument. And if you do not know what it was created for or how to use it, it can turn against you and attract exactly the opposite of what you desire. The second object that can bring serious problems to your home is statues with aggressive, demonic, or distorted shapes. In Feng Shui, not all decorative figures bring good luck. In fact, many of these statues were originally designed for high energy places such as temples, gateways, or spiritual protection sites. Their purpose was to block negative forces in very specific spaces, not in a living room or bedroom. When a figure with an angry face, twisted forms, or a threatening expression is placed inside the home, it not only fails to protect but also disrupts the natural flow of energy. Imagine having dinner every night with an angry guardian standing next to your table. How could you possibly relax? Remember, energy does not distinguish between people and spirits, it simply reacts. And if there is a figure in your home that radiates force, anger, or tension, the entire environment begins to absorb that same vibration. The space becomes dense, uncomfortable, and it can even cause insomnia, irritability, and bad moods in those who live there. A woman once told me that she had a dragon statue with a fierce face in her living room. She said she had bought it because it looked exotic, but every time she sat nearby, she felt discomfort and even a slight headache. When she decided to remove it, the atmosphere became lighter and the family environment much calmer. So never forget, not all statues are positive. Those that show aggression or distortion were created for other contexts, not for your home. Keeping them inside is like inviting an angry guardian to watch over your personal space, and over time, its energy can weigh on you and your entire family. The third object to watch out for is old, broken, or inherited mirrors. In Feng Shui, mirrors are very powerful elements. They do not only reflect images, but also energy. When placed in the right location, they can multiply light, attract prosperity, and repel negativity. But when they are old, damaged, or come from a home with difficult histories, they become true traps for dark energy. A mirror holds memories. If it belonged to a house where there was illness, arguments, suffering, or even death, those vibrations remain imprinted in it. Even if you clean it externally, its energy still retains traces of everything it has witnessed. And if the mirror is also broken or cracked, the situation is even worse. The reflected image is fragmented, and the same happens with the energy of the space. A damaged mirror represents a fractured home, and over time can attract arguments, financial blockages, and even the feeling that luck is slipping through your fingers. Imagine living with an open window to a dark and unknown place. That is exactly what happens with a charged or broken mirror. It opens a door to energies you do not want in your life. I remember a family who could not sell their apartment. Everything seemed perfect, but every buyer who visited backed out shortly after. Upon inspection, we discovered a large mirror hidden behind a closet door with a crack in the center. The owner said it was expensive, and he felt bad throwing it away. However, once it was removed, the atmosphere changed radically, and shortly after, the apartment was sold. Therefore, never forget, a mirror is not just a decorative object, it is an energy portal. If it is old, broken, or carries the memories of others, it can affect your prosperity, rest, and the harmony of your entire home. The fourth object you should never keep in your home is dry branches, rotting wood, or artificial flowers in poor condition. Feng Shui teaches us that what is alive transmits vitality, movement, and abundance. A green plant, a fresh bouquet, or strong wood always elevates the energy. But when we talk about dry branches, decaying logs, or dusty artificial flowers, we have the opposite: symbols of death, stagnation, and dead energy. A dry branch was once alive, but after losing its connection to the earth, vital energy no longer circulates. It becomes a magnet for heavy vibrations that gradually pollute the environment. The same occurs with rotting wood. While decomposing, its energy disintegrates and becomes unstable, transmitting chaos and disorder. And in the case of artificial flowers, although they may seem beautiful at first, over time they gather dust, lose color, and eventually become mere shadows without strength or vitality. Instead of adding beauty, they block the flow of energy and attract stagnation. Imagine entering a room full of things that do not breathe, that no longer have life. The space becomes heavy, dark, as if everything has stopped. That is exactly what happens when you allow dead branches, damaged wood, or withered flowers to remain in your home for too long. I remember visiting a woman's house who had an artificial flower arrangement in her living room. She had placed it years ago and said it brought back memories. However, the bouquet was covered in dust and looked dull. As soon as she removed it, she told me she felt the room became lighter, as if an invisible window that had been closed for a long time had opened. So remember this: anything that is not alive stagnates energy. If you want a home full of light and prosperity, avoid dry branches, rotting wood, and artificial flowers in poor condition. Life should always surround you with life. The fifth object to watch out for is gifts or keepsakes from people with whom you have had conflicts or painful relationships. In Feng Shui, objects are not just shapes and matter. They also absorb the energy of the emotions with which they were given or experienced. A gift given from sincere love can radiate protection and joy for years, but an object received in the midst of a broken relationship, betrayal, or argument becomes an anchor that traps those emotions and keeps them alive inside your home. Perhaps you keep a ring that someone gave you who later hurt you, or a scarf, a letter, or a simple ornament that reminds you of someone with whom you no longer have peace. You may keep it because it is beautiful or expensive, but every time you see it, even unconsciously, it awakens fragments of sadness, anger, or disappointment. Imagine having small memory capsules in your living room that, instead of giving you energy, repeatedly return painful emotions. That is what these objects represent: wounds that never fully close, continuously draining your peace and blocking new opportunities. I remember the case of Alicia, the same woman from our story, who kept a watch in a drawer that had been given to her by a relative she no longer spoke to. She said it didn't matter, that it was just a keepsake, but every time she accidentally came across it, she felt discomfort and sadness. When she finally let it go, she noticed an immediate release, as if an invisible weight had been lifted off her shoulders. So never forget, objects from broken relationships carry that same broken energy. Even if the item is beautiful or valuable, if it is charged with memories of pain, it's better to let it go to make room for the new and for abundance. Finally, another object you should never have in your home is anything that comes from places associated with death, such as hospitals, funeral homes, or residences where someone has passed away. In Feng Shui, there is a very clear rule: objects absorb the energy of the spaces they have been in. And if that space was marked by illness, pain, or death, the object becomes imbued with that vibration. Furniture, beds, mattresses, chairs, even blankets or wardrobes from these places can carry dense energies filled with suffering. Even if you clean them with soap and water, even if they shine on the outside, what you cannot see is the invisible imprint that remains alive within them. When these objects are installed in your home, it's like carrying someone else's painful memories with you. Gradually, that vibration spreads throughout the house. The atmosphere becomes heavier, dreams are disturbed, opportunities are blocked, and vital energy seems to fade. Imagine placing in your bedroom a bed that once belonged to someone who spent their final days ill. That energy of sadness and depletion does not disappear with a simple cleaning. It's as if your own rest becomes trapped in those memories, preventing you from renewing your vitality. I remember visiting the home of a man who had bought an antique wardrobe at an auction. It was a beautiful piece, but every time he entered his room, he felt a strange chill and a sense of discomfort. After investigating, he discovered it had come from a house where a family tragedy had occurred. Once he removed it from his home, the heaviness disappeared immediately. So never forget, objects that have witnessed pain and death carry that energy. And if they are not deeply cleansed, or better yet, avoided, they can bring the same vibration of sadness, illness, and stagnation into your life. Your home should be a space for life, not for memories of suffering. As you can see, these objects may seem harmless, even decorative or valuable, but in Feng Shui, not everything is as it appears. Each of them acts as an open door to dense energies, blocking peace and prosperity and even attracting unwanted presences into your home. And the most concerning part is that many times the symptoms are already present, but we do not know how to interpret them. Now, I want you to tell me in the comments, have you recognized any of these objects we've discussed in your home? And to seal your intention, accompany it with this powerful affirmation: I choose to protect my home from all negative energy. Your response will not only mark a change in your life, but also help those reading the comments feel more protected. Now pay close attention, because if any of these objects are already in your home, you may already be noticing clear signs that your energy has been unbalanced. When one of these forbidden objects remains in your house, the effects are felt quickly. And the most unsettling part is that they are often mistaken for everyday life problems, when in reality, they are signs that your home's energy is imbalanced. One of the first consequences is insomnia. You start tossing and turning in bed for no reason, wake up in the middle of the night, or have restless dreams that leave you exhausted upon waking. Another clear sign is family arguments without apparent cause. Everything seems fine, but suddenly small fights, misunderstandings, or tensions appear that weren't there before. It is also common to feel constant fatigue or lack of motivation, as if the vital energy of the home is being gradually drained. It can even manifest physically as recurring headaches, digestive discomfort, or a persistent sense of heaviness. On the material plane, bad luck begins to appear. Projects stall, opportunities fall through at the last moment, and money seems to slip through your fingers. And as if that weren't enough, nature and animals also reflect it. Plants dry out for no reason, even if you care for them properly. Pets become restless in certain areas of the house, as if they can sense what we cannot see. Imagine all of this as small warning signals. They are not coincidences. They are your space itself alerting you that something is wrong. And most importantly, these signals should never be ignored, because when they appear, it is a warning that the energy is already contaminated and that something deeper could manifest if not addressed in time. If, upon hearing these signals, you feel that some of this is happening in your home, do not worry. Nothing is lost. Just as energy can be contaminated, it can also be cleansed. And with a few very simple steps, you can completely transform the vibration of your home and restore its peace, light, and abundance. The first thing you should do is ventilate every space well. Open doors and windows to allow fresh air to enter, and let stagnant energies escape. Feng Shui teaches that moving air is the first step for vital energy, or chai, to flow again. While ventilating, you can burn natural incense or smudge with purifying herbs such as rue, rosemary, or palo santo. It's not just about the aroma, but the vibrational power of the smoke, which cleans the invisible memories of objects and walls. Then, let as much sunlight into your home as possible. Light is the purest and most transformative energy. If a corner of your house always remains dark, place a lamp or a clean mirror to help reflect clarity. Another powerful method is to use a bowl of water with sea salt or white vinegar. Place it in the center of the room where you feel the energy is heaviest. Leave it there overnight to absorb dense vibrations. And the next day, dispose of it completely outside your home. You can also use sound, bells, Tibetan singing bowls, or even clapping with intention. In every corner, these break up energy accumulations and allow the energy flow to reactivate. It doesn't matter if you don't have special instruments. The cleansing comes from your intention. If after doing all of this you still feel some heaviness, place live plants in the most stagnant corners. Plants not only decorate, they breathe and transform dead energy into oxygen and vitality. A healthy plant is always a sign that your home is vibrating in harmony. Finally, wipe surfaces such as doors, frames, and tables with a cloth and a few drops of lavender or lemon essential oil. This simple gesture helps seal the cleansing and leaves a sense of freshness and serenity. Remember, the energy of your home responds to intention. Each time you consciously clean, you are not only tidying the physical space, but also healing the emotional one. Once you have cleansed and renewed your home's energy, the most important step is to protect and seal it so that no negative vibrations can re-enter. This simple ritual will help create a barrier of light around your home and maintain the harmony you've restored. You don't need anything complicated for this ritual. Just three simple elements: a white candle, some salt, and a glass of clean water. Choose a time of day when you can be calm and uninterrupted. Place the three items together on a small table or altar, preferably near your home's entrance where the main energy flows. First, light the white candle. Observe the flame and allow its light to gently illuminate the space. In Feng Shui, fire represents purification and rebirth. Its glow dissolves dark vibrations and awakens protective energy. Next, take a pinch of salt and drop it into the glass of water. As you do this, visualize all the negative energy remaining in your home dissolving slowly into the water, neutralized and powerless over you and your loved ones. Then place your hands in front of the candle, close your eyes, and repeat this affirmation aloud. My home is surrounded by light, protected by harmony, and blessed with abundance. Nothing negative can enter, nothing dark can remain. Remain silent for a few moments, breathing calmly, imagining how that warm white light expands from the candle and covers your entire home, the rooms, hallways, windows, and doors. When finished, mentally give thanks for the cleansing and protection you have received. Let the candle burn completely in a safe place. And the next day, pour out the salt water outside your home, preferably into a drain or garden. This simple act works as an energetic shield. It is a symbolic way of telling the universe, only peace, light, and prosperity reside here. Remember, you can repeat this ritual whenever the atmosphere feels heavy or after any visit that left a strange sensation. Each time you do, you will strengthen your home's protective energy. When you finish this ritual, take a moment to look around. Feel the lighter atmosphere, the calm in the air, and the sense of well-being beginning to envelop your home. This is no coincidence. It is the clean, renewed, and protected energy you have created with your intention. Remember, abundance and harmony do not arrive by chance. They manifest when the place you live vibrates in balance with your inner self. Share in the comments how you feel after performing this cleansing and protection ritual. If you found this video useful or inspiring, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so we can continue learning more Feng Shui secrets and abundance rituals together. Also, share this video with your friends or family. Perhaps someone else also needs to clear their home of negative energies. Thank you for joining me today. May light, peace, and prosperity always surround you, and may every corner of your home reflect the serenity you deserve. Until next time.